Warning, the following video contains strong language which may be offensive to some viewers and or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only. Welcome to Meet the Author, where you can join in on insightful conversations with best-selling and award-winning indie published authors. Your hosts today are Rob and Joan, who themselves are indie published authors, book publicists, and paranormal investigators with Tampa Bay Spirits, based in Tampa Bay, Florida. Thanks for dropping by. And now, on with the show.
Good evening, I'm Rob.
And I'm Joan. Welcome to our show. So glad to see you here. I see we've got a couple of comments already. Yes, please like, follow, and share our show. Subscribe to the YouTube. Oh, hello, Susan. Glad you can join the show.
Hello, Sue.
Howdy, y'all.
Hi, Trishy.
Howdy, Trishy. Please do comment. Oh, hello, Dominic. We're glad to see you here. We're going to have lots of book giveaways today, actually 3. First on, we have a wonderful couple, Caleb and Linda Pirtle. Why don't we bring them on right away? And
okay, well, first of all,
welcome to the show.
Next week on the show, speaking of shows.
Sorry.
Next week, we won't have a show, but we will be 2 weeks from tonight. We'll have children's author Wanda Luthman is going to be on, along with women's fiction and children's author Dr. Carol Soloway. So they will be on 2 weeks from tonight. So
let's bring on Caleb and Linda.
Without further ado.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi. Good. How are you?
You can see our dog in the corner trying to
nice.
Get it.
Yeah.
What is your dog's name?
Piper.
Piper?
Papper.
Papper. Okay.
You folks are in Texas. It could have been Piper.
Could have been Piper anywhere, actually, but
yes.
Okay. So, Caleb, I know you are quite a prolific writer, and perhaps you would like to tell the audience and the viewers some of the books that you've written.
Well, you said prolific. I think prolific is probably the meaning would be he's been around a long time.
No, it means you've written a lot of books.
And I started writing as soon as I figured out I was not smart enough to dig ditches. Although looking back, I think there may be more money in digging ditches. But I've always loved the written word. I've been writing all of my life. That's the only kind of job I've ever had. Newspapers, travel editor with Southern Living magazine, way back in another lifetime, and worked for a publishing company for many years, and then started writing books and novels, what I've always wanted to do. And you ask about what I'm writing now. The series is the Boomtown Saga. And I was a child of the oil patch. I was born on the cusp of the great East Texas oil boom. My father came to East Texas during the Great Depression to work in the oil boom. And so I grew up listening to all of these stories and all of these tales from all these eccentric characters that resided and occupied the oil field. And after so many years, I woke up one day and said, you know, if you packaged them all together, they might make a really good series about a mythical small East Texas town during an oil boom period. And so the first one was Backside of a Blue Moon. The second was Bad Side of a Wicked Moon. The third one was Lost Side of an Orphan's Moon. And I'm now cogitating on the fourth book.
That sounds really exciting. We just saw the cover of Bad Side of a Wicked Moon. And actually, that's going to be his giveaway, right?
I believe so. Let's go ahead and get that first. There's going to be 3 giveaways tonight.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact.
A lot of giveaways.
So here's Caleb's giveaway. The first person to email, US only, will win a signed copy of The Bad Side of a Wicked Moon. The next 3 emails he gets are open worldwide, will win an ebook copy of the same book. And there's his email right there.
Well,
it's Caleb's email, Caleb Pirtle 2@gmail.com. That's CalebPirtle 2@gmail.com.
Yep. And if you're not even watching us live, go ahead and give it a shot. Who knows? You might be one of the lucky winners.
Right.
If you're just listening to us.
I'm looking forward to hearing whoever wants to email.
Sounds like a fun series, Trish says. And Sue Pearson, I think you saw before, said, ooh, I love Southern living. I'm not sure Texans would consider themselves Southern living, but.
Yes, it was. In fact, one reason that I was hired as travel editor, their largest circulation was in Texas. So
what? Really?
All about the back roads and byways and lost little villages in the state of Texas.
Dominic says
most of them, because I was the only travel editor in the country who could not read a road map. So I stumbled across more really good stories that I was looking for in the first place.
Now,
I'm so glad your dog is barking.
Yeah. So ours isn't the only barker.
Barking too. I'm sorry. What were you saying,
They
Linda?
may be talking to each other.
They might be.
Oh, Dominic says he's banning himself from winning because he already won once here. That's okay, Dominic.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, do it.
Right.
These do sound like great books, and
Sure, it's open to everybody.
Linda, I would like you to tell a little bit about the kind of books that you write. I know what kind you write, and I love this particular type of mystery story myself.
well, to give you a little bit of background, Caleb and I had a publishing company, Venture Galleries, which has morphed into our other website. And I was editing a book for someone else and talking to them on the telephone, and we got into quite a discussion about his punctuation. And finally, I said, you know, if you had been in my English class, my senior English class, you would never have graduated. And he said, okay, take out that semicolon. So after the phone conversation, I was just kind of disgusted. And Caleb said, well, if you can do anything better, then just write a novel yourself. And I said, okay, I consider that a dare. So that's when I wrote my first cozy mystery, The Mahjong Murders. And, you know, people always tell you to write what you know. So the setting really resembled the gated neighborhood in East Texas where we lived. All the names and incidences were all fiction. But a lot of my friends accused me of doing an autobiography. And I said, no. My main character is not nosy and bossy. And they said, wait a minute. From that, it just kind of grew. And my series is The Games We Play. And the first one is The Mahjong Murders. The second is Deadly Dominoes, and the setting for it is the mysterious Caddo Lake in East Texas. The third one is Tarot Terrors, and that's the one I'm going to give away. And then the last one is Scrabble Secrets.
Okay, as long as you mentioned your giveaway, let's go ahead and pop this up here to give people time.
Good.
And this one is The first person to email US only will win a signed copy of Tarot Terrors. The next 3 emails worldwide will win an ebook copy of the same book. And it's Linda's email is lsgp2019@yahoo.com.
Thank you. And it's a standalone. You probably would know the characters a little better if you read them in order, but you don't necessarily have to do that. I always loved a good cozy mystery, and I started with Nancy Drew, the Hardy Boys.
Yep.
I love all of Agatha Christie.
Yep.
And I noticed that some of the newer cozy mysteries always have a young person in them, and I decided those of us who are 60 and older, we can solve mysteries. We like to do puzzles. So my main character is a retired English teacher. Her husband is an investigative journalist, retired. She thinks he's retired, but he really isn't. He has a secret life going that in the 3rd book, in Tarot Terrors, she learns what it is. And then the dog plays a role. He really has human characteristics. He is very close to Lillian, who is the main character, saves her life many times. And Lillian has 2 sons. One is county sheriff, and one works with the CIA. And so they're constantly trying to get her out of trouble, and she always has a way of getting in trouble. But she outsmarts them all the time.
Well,
And,
just for a minute, let me interrupt you. Catch up with some of these comments. Trish said, it's not stopping her, LOL. She needs competition. She meant about entering the contest. And Dominic then said, sent LOL. And I want to say hello to Patricia. She's watching with us.
Hello, Patricia.
And Dominic said, hey, Trish, LOL. And then Lacrosse just joined us. Lacrosse Ortiz, hello.
And I want to say
How
hi
are
to
you?
Jeff, who's also watching. You didn't pop up on here, but I know you're there, Jeff. I saw you drop in. Thanks for stopping by.
I'm sure there are a lot of others that are watching, and we don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. There
Yeah.
are.
George is probably on here, and Paul, and a number of other people that we know. Phyllis may be lurking in the background, some of our regular viewers.
Feel
But
free to comment,
sorry.
everybody that's here. Just pop in and
Yeah.
say hi, say where you're from even. That'd be cool.
Enter. Yeah. Trish said I'm calling out the lurkers. I'm just acknowledging them. I'm not calling them out.
But feel free to just watch. You don't have
Hey, if we didn't have lurkers, we wouldn't have anything to write about.
That's right. That's right.
I love cozy mysteries, and I love that you're writing about people of a certain age, because we still have a life, don't we?
We do. And what I've had enjoyed hearing some feedback from people who've read my books. Men love them as much as women.
Cozy mysteries.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Tarot Terrors, the giveaway book, I introduce a young Navajo girl.
Awesome.
And she is very independent. She does a vision quest, which is kind of a paranormal. It's got a little bit of a paranormal effect in it. But she and her Aunt Sophia, who is a medium, just won't go away. So I have a new series called the Sammy Nightingale series. I've just begun writing. So for those who are younger, this series might really appeal to them.
Yes. But I think they can also enjoy your other books too. You know, I really.
Lillian is still going to make an appearance because she is Sammy's mentor.
Very good.
Yeah.
Boy, you really are hitting all of my buttons. I love the Navajos. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. But I do. I have a real heart for the Navajos. We've spent quite a bit of time in the Navajo Nation. I really love it there. And yeah, Sue Pearson says, so cool, Linda. And it is.
Thank you. I have some Navajo proverbs quoted throughout the book. And in Scrabble Secrets, Sammy and Lillian are headed to Canada, and they meet with the Anishinaabe. I think I'm saying it correctly.
Yeah.
Tribe, and they have to escape Canada via the Underground Railroad. So,
That's
the Native
really-
Americans were part of that and helped the slaves escape the South.
Yeah. The Navajos are really funny. I know that in a lot of the old Westerns that they were on, where they had to speak their tribal language,
Yes.
they did not say at all what the Americans
And
thought that they were saying.
I even researched they were the code talkers.
Yes,
And,
they were.
How they developed the code from their language. It's very, very interesting. And I
Fascinating.
almost regret that it's revealed, because who knows, we might need it again someday.
I know.
Right?
Wasn't that awesome? Really unsung heroes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. That we owe them such a debt of gratitude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Trish just said the code doctor saved us. So amazing. They just amazing.
Exactly.
And if anyone's listening, they're really in bad straits now. They need a lot of help.
They do. If you drive through the Southwest, you can understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sue says, I am such a fan of mystery books. Love everything you just said. Code Talkers were so awesome.
Thank you, Sue. I appreciate that.
And then Tricia says, I agree. I wish the code was still secret, but we may be able to use it against aliens from outer space. So
There you go. I like that.
If you spend any time with the Navajos in New Mexico,
Yeah.
they're still looking and waiting for the aliens from outer space. It's a very mystical part of
It
the world.
really is. Caleb had his aura done when we were out there.
The star people, they call them.
Yes.
Yep.
And I
Yep.
see your poster behind you.
Yeah. Yes.
I do believe I saw one time.
Trish. Oh, Dominic says, Trish, write that book, please. Trish should write that book. That's a very good idea, Dominic. Actually, July 7th, we'll be having the authors of a book written by two directors of MUFON, and we'll also be having on the author of a woman abductee, a book that she's written. We'll have them.
Very fascinating.
she wants,
Yeah,
she
that'll be
wants to
July
let everybody
7th.
know that it's real and that she went
And that
through
you
it
can
and
fight against
how you
it.
can fight against it. So it's going to be a very interesting show.
Now,
Okay.
I was with the friends when we saw one. Don't they also know about Sasquatch? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I haven't seen him yet, but
We haven't either, not for lack of
there's
trying.
hope. There's hope.
Well, if Sasquatch gains another 50 pounds, Texas will recruit him to play football.
What were you saying? You were going to tell us about your UFO sighting?
Oh, yeah. I was with the friends, so I have a witness. And we were coming home from East Texas, and I kept seeing this blinking light. You know, I was driving. It was night. And I thought, well, they're just going to land at the Tyler Airport. And drove a few more miles, and I thought, no, there aren't that many planes that come through Tyler Airport. So when we got into Tyler, I asked my friend, I said, you know, I've been driving, and I'm a little tired. Would you like to drive the rest of the way home? And she said, sure. So I pulled over, and we stopped and switched around. And we were sitting at a red light, and I called her by name, and I said, look up there. Is that what I think it is? And she said, yes. And it left. And I said, let me drive, because she's really short, and she was having trouble reaching the pedals. And she said, no, I'm getting out of here. We zoomed through town. We made a pact that we would tell no one. People would think we were nuts.
Right.
I dropped her off at her house, and before I got home, her husband had called Caleb. And first question he said, has Linda gotten there, and has she told you about the flying saucer?
Told nobody.
Nobody. And,
Oops.
Caleb told his father, and as it turned out, along that route in East Texas, several sightings had been made. And there were 2 other women in the Houston hospital with radiation. They had been zapped. So then I didn't feel so crazy.
Wait a minute. Were those the 2 women that had a little boy with them?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, she died. And the last surviving one died a couple of years back. Yeah, I know all of. Yeah,
Heard about that one.
I may or may not be deeply into this.
Yeah. Well, they too had
Nobody until now. Now everybody knows James and Ricardo.
There you go, James.
YouTube and on the line of YouTube and
He's also on board with
True
the
Confession.
book that Trisha should write.
Right.
But it's kind of interesting. Have y'all been watching the Skinwalker Ranch?
Yeah.
Oh,
We
we've
have.
watched the Skinwalker Ranch. We've watched the Blind Frog Ranch, that whole series. I mean, and also now that Dan, I can't remember his last name, but he used to be, he worked for the FBI. He was an FBI agent, and now Ben, his name is Ben, and he now has a new documentary out, UFO Encounter. Turns out his grandfather worked at not at the base at Roswell, but the other base that they actually sent everything to.
Area 51 or
Mm-mm.
Wright Patterson.
No.
Wright-Patterson,
Yeah.
Wright-Patterson Air Force. Thank you, Caleb. And his grandfather worked there, and before he died, he told him, I need you to know we are not alone. And he actually worked with the aliens and the alien technology. Now that's his own grandfather. So his documentary that he has on right now is very interesting.
I bet it is.
So I really like the flow of the way this is going, but let's
Get back to your books.
Let's
I can go
tell
through
people how to
rabbit trails with you every day.
let's tell people how to find you. Here's one way. Your website is calebandlindapirtle.com. And on Twitter, all I have is Caleb's. I have at Caleb Pirtle.
Do you have one,
Do you
Linda?
have one, Linda, or no?
I do. It's Linda Pirtle 10 at Twitter.
Linda Pirtle 10.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we have Caleb's email, which we already have.
You can read it again.
We'll give it one more shot on the giveaway for that one, which is probably already over, but it's hard to tell. Go ahead.
There's 3 emails too.
Yeah, go ahead and give it a try if you want. And
Email calebpirtle2@gmail.com. Sorry, just needed to get that in there again.
All right. And then one more here for Linda for her part of it, lsgp2019@yahoo.com for a copy of Tarot Terrors. That's hard to say.
It is. I like the alliteration.
But Tarot Terrors sounds really good. That sounds paranormal.
It is to a certain extent, yeah.
And as you might have heard, we're paranormal investigators in our other life. So
Well, you will enjoy this one. And researching, I discovered that in years past, people played with the tarot cards very much like we play bridge, which I don't know.
Oh yeah, people use tarot cards to this day. Yeah, on our station we actually have one of our hosts does card flips, and she did one for me. Had never met me, didn't know who I was. It was on her second show, I think, that she had, and we watched it, and she nailed me completely just doing a card flip.
Right.
I couldn't believe it. She just did the card flip on air and said, you're like this and this and this. And I was like, oh, okay.
Dominic was saying, yes, they do. They all know about it now.
Mm-hmm.
And Trish said, I heard about tarot cards. It was like playing bridge, like you said, Linda.
Oh, Dominic. Oh, yes. Dominic wants you to know about Cindy. Actually, it was not Cindy because she's been on the show for a long time. But yeah, she's she does tarot cards also,
Mhm.
and she
does.
on our station, but she's also a very gifted medium and psychic. I mean, very gifted.
But you've
Yeah.
been to Casadega, I'm sure.
I don't know if Cindy. We've never been to Casadega.
Oh, you need to go. You
I
have
know.
to
It's right around the corner.
It is.
Right down the street, yeah. And the interesting thing, and I think one reason Linda writes the way Linda writes, is we went to Casadega. I have a real good friend there who's a wonderful medium, who I had done magazine pieces on years earlier. And she was going to do a reading for Linda. And she sat down, and Linda sat down, and there was a long moment of silence. And she looked at Linda and said, "You need to be on this side of the table. You see as much as I do."
Wow.
Dominic, I don't know if you saw Dominic's comment.
Dominic
He said
was there today.
he was there today. Oh, Dominic, he
But
bought his
good
new
for you,
one.
Dominic.
That's what you needed,
That's one of our
Dominic.
favorite places.
Dominic hosts a show on our
Yes.
radio station as well, Real Talk with Dom. That's
Yeah.
on Monday nights at 10.
At 10.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's a very good show. It's a variety show.
Yeah.
He's a really good host.
Yep. Yes. And Cindy's show, oh gosh, I don't know. Correct me, Dom, is on Tuesdays.
I can't remember
We
which
have
time
a-
it's on. But
We have a lot of shows on our station, a lot of really good shows. Oh, Rob's
you have
going
a lot of
to
fun
tell you.
on your station.
Hmm?
You have a lot of fun on your station, don't you?
I think we do.
Oh, we do. We do.
Just Cindy is on Thursday night at 8.
Yeah. Just Cindy, the psychic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thursday at 8. But she has her tarot card Tuesday.
Yeah, she does have a tarot card.
I'm not
Tuesday,
sure what
so
time that's
I'm not
on,
sure
though.
what time.
We'll check that in.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you go to WLFE-DB.com,
You'll
you
find
can
it.
see the shows and the times
Yep.
and all that. So,
Mhm. And they're all really fun. Yeah, we will have to go to Casadega.
Yeah.
Linda, when we were talking with Caleb the other day, we told him we've really been good friends with Cindy Davis and her husband Rick for a long
Yes.
time. Constantly telling us to go to Casadega. Haven't
Yes,
gotten
I
there
talk
yet.
about it often.
We've got to go. I know we've got to go. But
Person has, and she has a good series of books.
yes,
Oh, absolutely.
she does.
Yeah.
They were our first
They
guests.
were episode 1.
They were episode 1.
So you can catch that on YouTube.
And
on our
and
YouTube
she
channel.
called me out too. She said, "Yeah, the reason that you picked us first was because you said if you screwed up too badly, we wouldn't freak out." Which is exactly what I said to
Yeah,
them.
we wanted to be comfortable. That was it. We took the easy road, folks.
Yeah, that's right. 'Cause it
Well,
was.
I went back and viewed several episodes of the The Author podcast, and I can see where it would be addictive.
Oh, thank
Because
you.
You really get to meet some really fascinating people.
Right?
People do interesting things. And
Yeah.
how
Right?
people write and how they get to where they are in their journey is you just sit on the edge of your seat. At least we do. Because
I
everybody
loved it.
does it different.
That's right. That's one of the things that we love the most is hearing why you're doing what you're doing and how you picked the series that you're writing, and just listening to you, Caleb, and you, Linda, 2 entirely different reasons, but very pertinent to the series that you're writing. And I came from the same background as you, Linda. I loved Nancy Drew. I loved the Hardy Boys. I loved Agatha Christie. I loved the Father Brown series.
Oh,
mystery
yeah.
So you
Oh,
watch
yeah.
it regularly.
And
I mean, I just loved all of those books growing up and read them all. And I also like sci-fi. I actually was in a class at Boston University when I went there, just because one of my favorite authors was giving the class. Didn't need the class, but
Which
that's
author
what
was
we
that?
do. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Isaac? No.
Yes, Isaac Asimov.
Oh, he's brilliant.
Yeah, I went to a class he taught at BU.
Speaking of sci-fi, you're really going to like our next guest.
I know, I do like our next
Tell
guest.
you what,
It's about time to go to commercial.
Oh, wait a minute.
And
We've got another comment just
Well,
before we go to commercial real
we'll
fast.
Take a look at that here. It helps to meet the authors because when I read the books, it has even more meaning.
Yes.
The authors are so interesting. I love this series, and Caleb and Linda are no exception.
That's
Trish, please email us. We'd love to get to know you better.
Yes, absolutely, we would.
and she's right. When we get to know the authors and understand why they're writing what they write, it really does help so much.
It does.
You know, it's wonderful, and we've had an amazing time. This show is really, really fun for us. Sue Pearson agreed with her. She said, totally, Trish.
Okay, well, we're going to take our break now.
Okay.
We'll catch up with any comments after the break. And when we come back, we'll be meeting with, we'll meet science fiction author Adam Gaffen. So sit tight, don't go away. Another book giveaway is coming up as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Life just got sweeter now that WLFE-DB has merchandise. Show your support by purchasing your t-shirts for WLFE, Paratalk Radio, Inside the Drag Closet, and more. But it doesn't stop there. T-shirts, coffee mugs, tanks, buttons, cloth bags, and more. Go to WLFE-DB.com. On the top bar, click on the merchandise tab and bam, there you go. You got merch. Support the shows. WLFE-DB.com.
Hello.
We need to run one more video.
We got one more treat for you. Stand by.
Yay!
Hello, Adam.
That was quite an
Hello.
intro. That's
It was. That video came out so well.
didn't it? I mean, yes. Good.
Good morning,
Robert. Good
Robert.
morning from Queensland.
From down under there.
Yes,
Ooh.
Robert. I don't know if you saw, but our first two guests are giving away free ebooks in worldwide. So you can get a free book finally, because usually he's in Queensland and he doesn't ever get any of our books that we give away.
Well, good.
Yeah. It's 10 o'clock in the morning there for him. I think, well, it's after 10:30 now. One more comment here. Yeah. Oh, Sci-Fi, My True Love. Yeah. This looks really good. This series, the Cassidy Chronicles, looks really good. And this one looks amazing. That's quite a showstopper video you have there. You want to tell us a little bit about the series?
So the Cassidy Chronicles, it's the story of Ayanna and Kendra. Cassidy, they marry in the first book. And it starts literally with a bang. It starts at what's supposed to be their wedding, and somebody pulls out a gun and tries to kill Ayana, and they take off running. And the first book is all trying to figure out what's going on, who's behind this, and it's science fiction because it's set a century in the future, but it's an adventure. It's a mystery. Again, it's a whodunit, or who wants to do it, I suppose. And then as the series goes on, it jumps forward 5 years, and they're in a position now that they're pursuing their dreams. Kendra wants to drag humanity into the stars. Again, it's 100 years from now, so we've settled some planets, we've settled the moon, we've settled on Mars, we've settled in the asteroids, but we haven't gotten out to the stars yet. And now she has the opportunity, and she, who will have done what, Robert? I'm not quite sure.
He was
okay.
just saying, he was commenting on what you said. Who will have done it? Yes.
Yes. Yes. So it's all in the system, but Kendra's now trying to drag them out of the system. And the other polities in the system, notably Artemis, which is the lunar colony, says no way, it's going to knock us off of our perch as, you know, the top dog. And the next 3 books and the fifth book in the series, which I'm writing now, all deal with what the conflict between their Terran Federation and Artemis.
Very good. Very good. What got you started writing, and why science fiction?
Well, science fiction, because that's been my preferred genre as a reader. One of the first science fiction books I ever read actually was Asimov's Foundation.
Yeah.
My dad gave it to me when I was 7 or 8. Shortly after that, we listened to The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the original radio show. And from there, I was hooked. I started writing, you know, in high school. I think every student tries their hand at writing sooner or later, you know, some sort of something you put down on paper. And then I played with it on and off for years, never really got too serious about it. And then I started the first book of the Cassidy Chronicles in 2012. I finally got around to finishing that last year, and the stories have just been coming ever since. So
that sounds great. I think that, I don't know if everybody likes writing in high school. I think you have to, but some of us for sure loved writing in high school. You know what I mean? Just really got into it, enjoyed it. I know I did. I think you did too.
I did.
Yeah. We both.
I kind of copied the Lord of the Rings thing and made my own twist on it, and have made up a whole world and everything, you know.
Yeah.
And it was probably very plagiaristic, but it was fun to do.
Yeah, but one of the things I did a couple of years after high school is Robert Heinlein is one of my favorite authors.
Yeah.
I think I have all but one book of his upstairs and downstairs, and they're all over the house. But one of the things he did is he created his future history. So a few years after I got out of high school, I sat down and did my own version of a future history, and I still have it. It's all, it's about 2/3 typewritten and about 1/3 handwritten. And I'll answer Trisha's question in just a moment.
Yep.
And some of the timeline that I wrote almost 30 years ago, I'm still using in the Cassidy Chronicles, because it's predicated on the breakup of the United States and into squabbling nations, much smaller nations. All right, so Trish, I would say it's got to be Star Trek.
Yeah, for those that are listening, the question is, Adam, what is your
favorite sci-fi
series in modern time, such as Stargate, Star Wars, Star Trek?
Star Trek, you said?
I think Star Trek, because it has the most fully developed universe. It's definitely the one that has had the greatest opportunity to explore the depths of the human experience in the 22nd, 23rd, 24th centuries. I mean, I certainly enjoy other sci-fi series. Doctor Who, I grew up on Doctor Who.
Yes. Yes.
There you go.
I grew up on Doctor Who, and Battlestar Galactica is an old favorite of mine. Buck Rogers is an old favorite of mine. Oh yes, yeah. No, nobody can read my handwriting either, Robert. I type everything.
Babylon 5, yeah, Battlestar Galactica. Yep, there's so many.
Yep.
Hitchhiker.
Yep. I liked Hitchhiker's Guide. Yes, absolutely awesome. The radio show, the books, the TV series. Tolkien, C.S. Lewis, yes, who did write some very good science fiction. Star Trek, Doctor Who, yep.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, let's get to
your books,
your giveaway here as well. We can still answer questions along the way, but I want to give people a chance to win a book here now. The actual book is this one, A Quiet Revolution. And
that's the one we just saw the video about.
That is.
And that looks amazing.
Let's get down here to the giveaway. So here's the details on it here. The first 3 people to email will win an ebook copy of the Cassidy Chronicles Volume 1.
And that is, I actually have a hard copy of that here.
Wow.
So that's the cover of Volume 1.
Yep.
Okay. So you email Adam Gaffen, author @gmail.com. I'm sorry, Adam, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I've been very fortunate. I found a very talented designer last year when I was getting ready to publish the first volume. And she, I've used her for all of the books. So at this point, she knows the series almost as well as I do, which makes it a lot easier when it comes to doing the covers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. Because then she catches what you're trying to express. Yep.
Robert is
Space 1999.
I remember Space 1999.
Trish just said, email sent. The rest of you better hurry up. Let's put up where we can reach Adam at all the different places. Adam Gaffen, author @gmail.com. He's got a great Twitter handle. You got to get this one, folks. It's up here. Twitter is @rabbitchipmunk42. I love that. There's got to be a story behind that. Instagram.com//Adam Gaffen. Let's see. And of course, IndieBookSource.com.
By Adam Gaffen.
Books by Adam Gaffen has its own page.
Facebook, Adam.Gaffen on the Facebook.
.com/Adam.Gaffen, yeah. Facebook.com.
Yeah.
And then CassidyChronicles.com is
his own website.
All sorts of goodies on there, right? Do you have a newsletter?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We are just getting one started, but I post chapters from each book, 1 chapter a week. So if somebody wants to get a taste, of them, they can.
That's awesome. That's a really good idea. So you really, let's see, we've got 142. Answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. Yes.
Yep. Yep.
I'm afraid we're all nerds. All of us, everyone listening, and all of the authors that you're seeing right now, we're all a bunch of nerds.
Hey, Tom.
Welcome, Tom.
Welcome, Tom. Dom, you're missing out on some really good giveaways. Maybe we can go through everybody again.
Yeah, we will. We'll do that before we leave. We'll put all three, the other 2 giveaways on there as well.
Yeah.
You never know. If you might turn out to be number 4, number 5, and the author may say, I like this. I want to go ahead and send you one.
Jeez.
It could happen.
He's giving away your book. That's really nice.
It could happen. I don't think it will happen, but it could.
Yay. I am so happy, Robert, that you were finally able to get a book, because, usually when we're giving away paperbacks, then he's in Australia. So
there's a time lag there.
Robert hopefully will appreciate one of the characters in Cassidy Chronicles. Master Chief retired, Mickey Stone, who grew up following her father all around the planet and has a bit of an Australian accent. She is a fun character to write. She got thrown out of the SEALs basically because she refused to stop getting into bar fights.
I kind of thought that's what they were looking for in the SEALs.
Yes and no. They want the aggression channeled.
I guess in the right direction, huh?
So in a sense, Robert is a time traveler. Well, he's actually in the future.
Yes, he is. He's in the future, yes. Traveling back into the past.
Yeah, because it's 9:34 tomorrow morning there.
He can critique how you write your Australian accent.
Yeah, there you go.
I am so bad at accents, spoken or written, I don't even try. I know some authors who do, and do a really good job of doing that. But
okay, let's go back.
Yes.
Well, first of all, do you guys have anything that you want to say to each other? Any questions for each other? Caleb and Linda and Adam.
I have one for Adam. Adam,
Sure.
you look to be about the age of our son. And when he was in elementary school, we would rush home from school to see Star Blazers. Did you ever watch that cartoon?
Actually, yes.
I bet we could sing that song together.
He doesn't like it.
Yes, I do remember that show.
Robert said, text from here is traveling at super speed back in time. True. And then Church said, you do a great Boston accent, but that may be because I'm born and bred in Boston. But I only use my Boston accent when I'm emotionally stressed. Yes, go ahead, Caleb. You had a question for Adam.
Adam, I'm sure you've heard that wonderful story about how the creators of Star Trek sold it to the networks. They sold it.
Wagon Train to the Stars.
Wagon Train in Space. Yeah. And I think that underscores what you said earlier. The wonderful thing about science fiction, it can be any genre. It just takes place in the future. Some of the great mysteries I've read, some of the great Westerns I've read have all taken place in the future.
Yes.
Well, going back to Isaac Asimov, his novel Caves of Steel, that is as good a mystery as you're going to find. But you never find it in the mystery section. It's always in the science fiction section. Well, okay, yes, because it's set however many thousand years in the future, but it's a mystery.
The mystery is there.
Yep.
And Caleb, you've said before that mystery has romance and romance has mystery. Yes, Star Wars was a Western for sure.
Exactly. They even did the
Also.
Mhm.
Yes.
And it probably
And
it is more better
like a
science
Trish.
fiction than it would out of the Western.
So
So, Trish says sci-fi can be about any genre. Exactly. I think it's why I love it so much. It's the best of all worlds. See what I did there? Firefly is a Western for sure, LOL.
well, yeah, Firefly is definitely a Western. You know, they even dressed in
Yeah.
Western garb. So yeah, cool Western. Well, you know,
and Linda, I appreciate the oh, I was just going to say to Linda, I appreciate the pets you're writing into your books, the animals you're writing in.
I'm a dog lover. I mean, really. I had one of my fellow authors critique my book or proofread and beta reader. And
Right.
I had devoted a chapter to my dog in the book, Eli. And she said, "You can't do that. You can't move into the mind of a dog." I said, "Well, I just did."
So I think you can.
I think you can.
Of course you can. I do. I'm sure Adam does. He has 5 rescues, you guys, 5 rescue dogs, those of you that don't know Adam. And I mean, you do. We move into the mind of our dog all the time. We know what she's thinking.
We do.
Actually, I don't know what she's thinking right now. She may be getting into trouble.
She's not in the room.
She's very quiet.
You said you don't know what you're thinking. Are you talking about the dog or Joan?
Whoa. Burn.
That was rough, Caleb.
Oh boy, this is taking a strange turn.
It's okay.
It must be science fiction.
Must be. So one of the fun things that I've gotten to do with these books is Kendra, one of her personality quirks is that she's a fan of late 20th century and early 21st century television and movies, pop culture. So through her, I drop in a whole bunch of references to the current crop of science fiction. And some of my readers has said, "Oh, I recognize that one. I know where you got that one. I know, I recognize that reference. Oh, I got that one." I have one guy who's trying to find all the Easter eggs that I've put into the various books, and I'm waiting to see his list.
That's awesome.
That's
love that.
great. That's really great. I know people love Easter eggs.
Yeah,
Here's
42 definitely shows up there. Yep.
Here's Adam's 4 books: The Cassidy Chronicles, The Road to the Stars, The Measure of Humanity, and A Quiet Revolution. So start out with The Cassidy Chronicles. It'll be a good starting spot.
But The Quiet Revolution does look really great.
It does.
Oh, another comment here.
Trish absolutely loves the Easter eggs, and she loves that you do that.
Yeah, that is.
Adam, I was just curious. Do you plot your books or you just sit down and write them?
I know where I want to end up. I know what I want the end result to be. I don't generally know how I'm going to get there. I don't know the path I'm going to take to get there. Just to give you an idea. So, like I said, I'm in the middle of writing the 5th book. This is entirely my notes on how I'm going to get from. That's it. Those are just the major plot points that I want to make sure I remember that I need to still hit. But that's it. That's my outline, and that's more than I've done for the other 4.
Now that's interesting, Caleb and Linda. What do you do? Same question.
I'm a whole lot like Adam. I write the way that I travel. If I'm going to New York, I know I'm going to New York. I just don't know how many back roads or side roads or interstates or crossroads I'll take before I get there. And to me, that's the fun of writing.
And Linda?
I have a ring binder this thick, And I have a section for my characters, their goals, their personality, what they like.
Of course, you were a teacher, right?
Yes, I have little tabs, all of my research, and then I outline every chapter. And once I get through outlining, I can put out the book pretty fast.
Well, in last episode, we had an author, The Dreams.
I listened to that.
Yeah,
Yes.
Paul, yeah, he's one of my favorite writers.
Paul Cude.
Yeah,
Yes,
I love his dragons.
and he's a wonderful person too. He's a really good person too. That is the teacher in you. Well, plus I think it's how our brains work. You know,
I have to be organized.
Yeah, I write more like Adam and Caleb, and honestly, Caleb, there was something that you had said to Cindy, and she talked about on the show, which hit me so hard. She was stuck, had writer's block, and she just couldn't get the character to do what she wanted the character to do. It wasn't coming out right. And you said to her, it's because you're asking the character to do something the character wouldn't do. And when she said that, I was like,
oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, that makes so much sense to me, because my characters to me are people. I know them, and I know who they are. And that makes sense that I'm trying to make them do something they wouldn't do.
You just need to trust your characters. They know where they're going.
Yes.
They know how they're going to get out of trouble. I don't have a clue.
Yep.
Don't you wish your characters would edit the book for you, though?
Oh, yes.
That'd be wonderful.
It would be great if they would
proofread it and edit it.
Yeah, my characters made C in English too.
There you go.
That's what I'm thinking.
But during COVID, and we were all in isolation.
I see tail.
Talked about being so lonely.
Yes.
And I said, well, I'm not lonely because I have Lillian and friends to talk to.
It's so true, though. I mean, it's really funny. They're really important to you because they're so alive to you. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's why people like cozy mysteries. It's like family. You get to know the characters so well.
Yeah, well, you should.
And like sci-fi, if you have a series, they know your characters.
Right.
I was in an airport one night, we're waiting for the next flight out, and I was carrying on a dialogue because I was in the middle of writing a book. And all of a sudden, I just started speaking the dialogue, and I got to the line that said, I guess we'll just have to kill him. And I looked, and I was all alone. Everybody had quietly gone and moved to another part of the airport.
That's hysterical. Yeah, Robert White says the main characters have a need to have backstory.
Yeah.
The sideline characters don't need as much storyline, or in some authors' books, they start with what looks like a main character, then kill them off in the first chapter.
Yep. Yep. Well,
and you'll also get the opposite happening. You'll have a secondary character who just they've got to be there. They absolutely have to be there. They become a more and more important character as things go on.
That's
and you
right.
have no idea why they keep showing up.
Yep.
Right.
Just suddenly you write them, and there they are again.
Yep. It's so funny because we named, our toy poodle that I told you guys about earlier, the one that passed away, we named her Rachel because my sister had just adopted a dog that she named Phoebe. So Phoebe and Rachel from Friends, they were friends. Okay. All right. Our niece was sure that we had named her after her because her name is Rachel. Then we wrote Rachel is one. We have an ensemble cast in our books, and Rachel is one of them. And she's one of the minor couples. There's a major couple and a minor couple. And she's one of my favorite characters, to be honest. And she loves guns. She gets really excited about playing with guns and shooting guns and picking out what kind of guns they're going to use in their agency. And I love her. And our niece, Rachel, thinks that is her. Also.
It's pretty funny.
It's like.
Yeah.
Don't tell her we named it after the dog.
Well, she thinks you named the dog after her anyway, so it's all good.
It works.
She has a healthy ego.
I'm going to go ahead and put your emails up here one at a time. I'm not going to put the details of the giveaway again.
But it's just right to these emails.
Send her an email right away if you want to try to enter. Win a book from Adam, The Quiet Revolution.
Adam Gaffen. Let me read it. Adam Gaffen author @gmail.com. I'll get it out.
That is hard to say. Not for Adam, but
yeah.
All right, and for
yeah,
Caleb,
I'm used to it.
Here's Caleb's his email.
Caleb's email is Caleb Pirtle 2. I can't talk tonight either @gmail.com, and that's for a copy of which one?
The Bad Side of the Wicked Moon.
Bad Side of the Wicked Moon.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Now find Linda.
And then Linda, get her email up here. It's lsgp2019@yahoo.com for a copy of Tarot Terrors. All right.
Wait, we have 2 more comments here. Nice. Here we go.
All right. And
so I'm not sure if you were laughing at me, but I think it was me. Or Rob, but I think it was me.
Could have been laughing at Caleb.
No,
that was a pretty funny thing to say. And then, and then Trish says, "This was such a fun show. So great to meet all 3 of you."
Yes, it was. Have we gone over time?
Yeah, we went a little bit over. That's okay.
Just a little though.
Not much. Any more questions for these wonderful guests of ours? We'll take a minute or 2 here to do that.
He was laughing at the dog story.
Okay.
That was a pretty funny story. Soup, and a true one too, actually.
She said really awesome show.
Though with us authors, you can never tell.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No, if I tell you a true story, it's a true story. But people do see
Linda,
in your books.
I do have to admit that as I've gone further and further and the universe has expanded, I've had to create a document where I just keep track of all the names.
Yes.
That of the people that I have and what they do. And I also have some of the politics and some of the history and some of the technology in that, which I stick into the back of the books so that my readers can keep up with it as well.
Yes.
Yeah, because I don't want to explain all the technology every single book.
No. And I have to do the physical characteristics, whether she has green eyes, brown eyes, that sort of thing, because you forget.
Yeah, at this point, I've been writing Kendra and Cass for so long that I could describe them.
Yeah, at the drop of a hat. So James says, are the biggest liars in the world authors or actors?
I think it's
politicians. Politicians, James. Hands down winners.
No question there.
Well, is there any difference between politicians and actors?
Nope.
Well, I guess not.
They're all acting a part.
And that's why so many actors are now becoming politicians, right?
Yeah.
Good one. It was a good one. Yeah. Oh, who was it? Was it Conan O'Brien? No, it was somebody else that said, according to Galaxy Quest, it is actors. Yes.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Thanks, Sue.
Yep.
Oh, politicians and actors. I have found authors can be brutally honest. Reagan started that. He did indeed, Robert. I think that's true. Authors can be brutally honest. And I think that's why writing and reading is so helpful to us emotionally. I think so anyway.
I think that's why a good critique group is important. You need somebody to nitpick your writing and pick out the flaws.
And that's one thing we want to put out to our readers. We need your reviews, folks. We really do. Whenever you finish a book, go back, take the time, go back, give us a review.
And
hopefully it's a good review.
Why I can change.
Right.
Yep.
Yes.
Let us know what we did well. Let us know what we didn't do as well.
Right.
Yes. As long as it's a constructive criticism and not just hating on somebody,
Yeah.
Yeah. Beta testing, as Sue says, exactly, Linda, beta testing is helpful. Yes, it is helpful because then people tell you what they like and what they don't.
Brutally honest.
Yeah.
Okay, Caleb, in one sentence, give us the readers or the audience some advice.
And wow, that's putting them on.
Writing?
Yes.
What I would tell them is you've read all of these rules about what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Forget the rules. Tell the story.
Absolutely.
Linda, you have any advice?
Well, this is really good grammar coming from an English teacher. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your craft, because this ain't no dress rehearsal.
Very good. Adam, how about you?
I'm going to say the best advice I could give somebody, another author, is don't stop writing. Even if you come to a point where you're stuck, you have no idea what's going to come next. You just can't get those words out. Write something else. Write not the next chapter, but the chapter after that. Write something totally different. Sit down and write a poem. If you're a prose author, write a poem. If you're a poet, write something in prose. Write some nonfiction. Take your hand, try your hand at something else. Do anything you have to do to keep writing. Don't stop writing, because once you stop, it's awfully hard to get back into it.
Excellent.
Trish said,
I already put that up.
You will. I love that, Caleb. Just tell the story.
Yeah.
And that's true. Tell it the best you can. Let's see.
Trish says, I've learned the best way to break through a writing block is to keep writing if what I write is, quote, I have no idea what to write right now. Right.
Yep.
That's excellent advice.
There you go.
Keep the words churning.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. This has been an awesome show. Do you have anything you'd like to add or subtract or?
Well, you know what? I do need to tell you WLFE-DB.com now is on TV, on Stream, and we're streaming all the time. This was just streamed live. And we have Variety Unlimited, which we're on. Then we have LGBTQ Friends, which many of our LGBTQ friends have shows on. And then Paranormal View, which is all about the paranormal. And also I wanted to say, like, share, follow, comment, and please, as we talked about, write reviews especially when you read a book and you really enjoyed that book and you had a great time reading that book and it touched you, whether it made you sad or terrorized you or made you happy, made you cry, write down why you liked the book. Let people know, because then the people that think like you do and go for what you go for, they'll know, oh, this is something I'd be interested in. And it helps. And none of us are getting rich people doing this. Just saying. We're not James Patterson sitting here.
There you go. So no show next week. 2 weeks from tonight is the next show. And we're looking forward to that. And until next time.
That's all, folks.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us here on Meet the Author. Make sure you stay up to date with our show by clicking like, follow, and share. And you can find us on Spotify, iTunes, and more. See you next time on WLFE-DB.com.
You've been listening to WLFE-DB.com, where our shows are your shows.